Hi, ladies and gents. Welcome to CEO Meets. My name's Pip Wilkins. I am the Chief Executive at the British Franchise Association, and I'm really pleased to be joined by Simon Hanna from Planet Cards. So, Simon, first up, talk to us a bit about Planet Cards. What do you do, and how do you do it?
Well, Planet Cards, Pip, has been trading now for 21 years, and we are in the greeting card industry sector, which is worth a cool £1.6 billion a year turnover at retail. And we're bigger than pet food and ice cream market combined. And it's a huge market. I mean, the statistic that we glibly throw about is at any one time, 84% of the population have need of a greeting card, and it is always somebody's birthday. And people obviously even send cards to the dog and the cat and receive them from the dog and the cat. So it's a great industry. And what we do, we supply greeting cards on consignment, whereby a retailer only pays for what they've actually sold. So from a retailer's perspective, it's a no risk opportunity for them to get extra revenue in the shop. And we're predominantly convenience stores, news agents, some post offices, and forecourts. And it's a very dynamic industry to be involved in, because fashions change and cards evolve, and if you get it right, it's the best feeling in the world, and if you get it wrong, you've got 5,000 sat in a warehouse.
Well, I was going to say, there's got to be some science here in terms of what cards sell the best.
Yeah, well, the basic theory is most gents will go in and buy the biggest card possible and don't even bother to read it, whereas ladies tend to actually put some thought behind the purchase. But it's a great industry. I mean, personally, I've been in the greeting card industry now, in and around it, for 40 years, and I've had this love affair with folded pieces of cardboard with ink on it ever since. So it's good.
Well, you've touched on you, so let's dive right in. So you are both somebody that works for the franchisor, but you're also a franchisee. Why do you do both? Well, how did that even come about?
It came about because I was unfortunately made redundant from a franchisor that I was working with in a management capacity. And I knew one of the directors from when we both worked at Hallmark Cards. This is how incestuous our industry can be. And they needed a territory valuing. And so I did a project for 6 weeks valuing it. And as Victor Kine would say, I loved it that much, I bought it. And I turned my territory from being one person in a van into where it is now, which is a managed territory. So I have 3 employees who work for me out merchandising, as well as she must be obeyed of 39 years of marriage, who runs the day-to-day operation as well. So that
the women always do it better.
Absolutely. I'm told that every day by all my staff, who all happen to be ladies. So yeah, they allow me to have the odd decision.
And you've recently launched a new website as Planet Cards. Talk to us a bit about the project.
Yeah, well, the project, basically, the world is changing very quickly, and our website was probably basically out of date. It was taking too many clicks to actually find information. So what we did was literally we stripped the website back, so that when somebody, particularly, obviously we're all looking for new franchisees to develop the network, we wanted it to be a minimum number of clicks for somebody who was looking for a franchise to find all the relevant information, because the days when people would ring up and ask for information, I think are gone. Now it's a case of they surf the internet, they go onto the BFA website, they click for the type of franchise they think they might like, and then they click onto the website. So the more concise you can make it, and also as quick as possible for them, the better. So that was our project, which is now beginning to bear fruit, because we're getting more measurable hits onto the website. And also in the background, we wanted to improve the communication and information available to our network as well. So there's
Absolutely.
a lot of backroom things that the web now does for our network. And also importantly, our website now works better for a retailer who comes on looking for a new card supplier. So that was the main core reason we did it.
It's brilliant. It's never easy to play with websites. I can speak from experience, having started that journey ourselves very recently. You spoke there about franchisees and, you know, the importance of them finding you and attracting them. What is it exactly that you're looking for in your potential franchisees? What are the kind of key attributes somebody needs to have to be a successful Planet Cards franchisee?
I think it's a passion for whatever they do. I can speak. I spent half my career self-employed, and I remember as my first year being employed, I used to have, in the old corporate days, about 400 people reporting into me, and I used to go to some fantastic Christmas parties. And my first Christmas was me and a solitary mince pie on a desk when I went self-employed, and it's scary. And one of the things that you do need is you need tenacity and drive and to be proactive. So what we're looking for are people who have been successful in, it can be any facet of life today. You know, they may have even overcome an adversity, but they've shown that they've been willing to stay the course. And obviously you're looking for somebody who has realistic expectations of what they want out of life, because quite honestly, if somebody comes to us and said, oh, I want a Planet Card franchise and I want to be a millionaire within 2 years, the reality check is as much as you might want to send them a congrats card for such an occasion, unlikely. So you want people who are realistic as well, and also prepared to follow you know, the operations manual, and, you know, follow and bring value as well. We look for people who will bring value to the network. We have 2 or 3 of our franchisees who were former forecourt retailers. So they bring an insight into a forecourt retailer mentality, which we can then use with the rest of our network. I personally used to have a card and gift shop, so which I developed and then sold on. So I can bring that insight from a retailer perspective. So it's all those little insights that people can bring. I always think that's one of the privileges when you work with franchisees, that you become part of their network and their life, and you get to know their families, and you find out what makes them tick and what their aspirations are. So
that's brilliant. Okay, so take then that franchisee, they join the network. What does a rough day in a life for a new franchisee look like? You know, what are they going to do every day? Because I know you said you've built it up and you've got 3 staff now, but you know, they start off as one man, one car, if you like, going out. What does it look like every day?
So basically, it's the business is a merchandising role. So we're called Planet Cards because we plan to maximize the sales from a particular set amount of space. So in our particular industry, that might be a meter, or it might be a spinner display. So the first thing that we do is we prepare the display for a particular shop, knowing what the fixture is. And we start off with humor cards, and then we work our way through to everything from engagement down to, sadly, sympathy. And they basically prepare their daily run, and it might be 5 calls, 10 calls, depends on the particular route. So they go into a retailer, they strip the existing display, count the cards that are left, and then you compare that to how many were left on the previous visit, and the difference is how many they've sold. That's what we invoice. And then what they do is they bring in the new display and they lay it out and merchandise it into the shop, and obviously they take into account particular seasons. So at the moment, we're having a breather. We've had Father's Day. We're about, sorry to do this to everybody, we're about 2 months away from the old Father Christmas word coming in. So it's not far away now. And obviously we're planning all the seasonality. And basically they talk to the retailer and they make suggestions on how we can maximize the sales, you know, within that retail shop. And then when they've done all the calls, they go back to either their home, or people like me, we have business units and others within our network as well. And basically we put that stock then back into our stock rooms and then pick for the next day. And that's the process.
Fantastic. So I have one final question. I ask everybody the same thing on this. Sometimes I mix it up a bit, but if you were to give somebody that's looking to invest in a franchise a top tip, what would it be?
To invest in a franchise, I would say actually start with the BFA website, and because obviously as a BFA,
obviously that's the key one.
Absolutely. I mean, the thing that we take pride in, we've just passed our 10-year milestone marker of being accredited by the BFA, and we've just gone through the reaccreditation process, which was great because it actually made us sit back and look at what we did. But what was really pleasing for us was through BuzzFeed, we found we had 92% of our network would actually recommend us to others. I wasn't allowed, by the way, to vote on that. Obviously, it would have been at least 100 if I'd done it. But no, I would recommend sincerely people look at the BFA website, and also if they know people who have a franchise, talk to them and think. And also importantly, I always say this when I interview potential franchisees, I always like to interview the partner, the spouse as well, to make sure that their expectations are with whoever wants to be the franchisee, because there's nothing 100%. Worse from experience of somebody eager to do it while the partner, etc., is very, very worried about what the future will be.
Yeah, especially when you've had a really hard day and you come home and they say, I told you shouldn't have bought this franchise.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
Simon, thank you so much. It's been really awesome catching up with you today. Thanks for your time.
Thank you very much, Pip. Thank you.